During REM sleep, our body experiences muscle atonia, which means we become paralyzed so that we don't act out our dreams. This is our brain's natural protection for our body so that we're not thrashing and smacking our head on the wall while we're throwing it back at a concert in our dream, which I always am. But every now and then, a glitch occurs and you regain consciousness, but you're still paralyzed. That's when the hallucinations occur. And even more interestingly, these hallucinations seem to be shared. People report witnessing a demon or a devil, shadow people, an old and hideous witch now known as the Old Hag or the Night Hag. These entities seem to be observing you. They may come closer. You may feel their weight as they make their way onto your bed. And the most common experience is to have one of these entities sit on your chest as you feel your lungs collapse and your breathing become labored. Now, I know some of you perverts like being choked, and to that I say, good. Good, you should black out before you tap out, okay? Just live your life that way. Many believe that the Old Hag is actually Lilith, Adam's first wife. Lilith was exiled from the Garden of Eden after Adam refused to let her be on top. Garden of Eden sounded fun, guys. Just missionary and never apples. Whether you see a sleep paralysis demon or the Old Hag or a shadow person, one thing is certain, you will die. Eventually you will die.
Bruh.
So I wasn't lying. I'm not lying. Okay, but anyway, what causes sleep paralysis? So, number one, sleeping on your back. Like, damn, can't even do that. You thought you were safe on your back? No. Yeah, you're not. Lilith is gonna, I can't even say, Lilith. 2, stress and anxiety. Okay, is it just me or is life just whack? Like, you can't do anything. You can't lay on your back. You can't worry. Like, you can't even worry in peace now. And number 3, not sleeping. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the sleep paralysis demon wrote that. Don't not sleep or else I'm gonna come out. And don't lay on your back. You know, G's up, hose down. Some of the earliest reports of sleep paralysis date back to 2001. And subsequently, that is the same year that Kids Bop came out. So don't tell me that there is no correlation, because I know that the government did something.
Bruh.
The first documented case of sleep paralysis dates back to 400 BC in Chinese scriptures. Regardless of culture, beliefs, background, location on Earth, time period, the entities and the experiences remain the same. I thought the movies we watched maybe were influencing these sleep paralysis episodes, but these sightings are ancient. I've actually experienced a sleep paralysis one time, and it kind of wasn't any... Here, let me just cue creepy music. I was sleeping alone in my bed after a long night of mischievous activities. Damn, I'm a creep. Anyway, I was sleeping on the right side of my side. Yeah, I was on my side. And I remember opening my eyes and there being this like red tint to the whole room. And this is back then when I used to live with my parents, and I remember the whole room had this red tint, and I was looking at the wall because my bed was pressed all the way up against the wall. I was looking at the wall, and I remember hearing and almost like feeling like I could see static a little bit. Like everything was so staticky, and I almost could hear a little bit of like little static. And having this feeling, like almost like you're falling feeling, but it was like I wasn't falling, and I was obviously awake. But I had that same feeling, and I felt like something was just getting closer and closer and closer, and that feeling of falling was getting a little more like intense. And I remember just thinking, like, kind of wincing, like almost. I mean, I'm wincing telling the story. I remember like kind of wincing and closing my eyes, like just kind of bracing for whatever was gonna happen next. And then I just woke up, or not woke up, but became unparalyzed. And now I'm here. That's why I act this way, because of that day. All right, so what are some explanations for sleep paralysis? Medically speaking, REM sleep is the deepest state of sleep you can get. So when that rest becomes interrupted, then that can lead to adverse effects. And really, that's all we know. There's so little we know about sleep and dreaming altogether. So medically, there's more mystery to it than answers. And there is no explanation as to why we even hallucinate during these episodes. But, okay, what is the other explanation? Aliens. The FCC, that's who. No, but honestly, it's COVID's fault. The more I think about it, really, though, it's Kanye's fault. Or what about that one time Elon Musk went on SNL and Dogecoin plummeted afterwards? It's Elon's fault. The other explanation is that sleep paralysis is paranormal in nature. And it kind of makes sense. Hear me out. What if sleep paralysis puts us in a state of mind where we're able to see these entities and we're not just hallucinating them? I mean, isn't it weird that everyone sees the same thing? And why don't people have positive experiences with sleep paralysis? Why isn't it like, man, sleep paralysis was lit last night. There was a stripper throwing money on my chest. And what was cool is that Scarlett Johansson was right next to her, super jealous, so, as always. But I was just kicking back, watching Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion twerk for world peace. Then Barack Obama walked in and kind of ruined the vibe a little bit, but then he put a Rolex on my wrist and I was like, oh, that's why you're here. But honestly, that's never the case. It's always the old hag, a demon, devil, ghost, and scary shit. Here's my own theory as to why sleep paralysis occurs, and I know DMT has been covered ad nauseum, but I've never heard of it correlated to sleep paralysis, even though the more I look into it, it kind of seems like a no-brainer. DMT, dimethyltryptamine, is one of the most powerful hallucinogens that we know of. Also known as the spirit molecule, this naturally occurring chemical is found pervasively throughout nature, animals, plants, and including our own bodies. It is thought to be produced in the pineal gland, but scientists still aren't sure on what other parts of the brain or the body helps in the production. DMT has been used for centuries in shamanic brews such as ayahuasca in order to induce intense hallucinations and deep emotional states and realizations. Just like sleep paralysis, many people report witnessing the same beings during these hallucinations. People choose to call these entities beings, guides, spirits, aliens, helpers, mechanical elves, angels, plant spirits. Unlike sleep paralysis, these experiences with these beings tend to be positive. These entities seem to be there to help us learn or understand and even guide us. The purpose as to why our body produces DMT is unknown. New studies hint that DMT might actually have a more vital role in our life than previously thought. DMT might be responsible for regulating the way we perceive our everyday reality at all times. But let's get back to my theory. The reason I brought up DMT is because it is known to be released 2 times in our life, when we sleep and when we die. But not just any time when you're sleeping, but more specifically during REM sleep. So if DMT is releasing into our body during REM sleep, and sleep paralysis occurs when REM sleep is interrupted, it's very, very possible that DMT is circulating in your body. Even if it's small amounts, it's still trickling into our system, leading to these hallucinations, in theory. Sorry if you can hear my dog, he's in REM sleep. So that would explain the hallucinations and maybe even the similarities in hallucinations, since most people see the same beings while on DMT. But that does beg the question, are these entities real? We can say with certainty that these experiences are real. And what exactly makes something real? Is it our ability to see something, feel something, measure something? Is it possible that these entities are always there and the only variable that changes is our ability to perceive? 3 physicists have won the Nobel Prize for proving that the universe is not locally real. Through quantum entanglement, they were able to prove that objects are not just influenced by their direct surroundings and that they don't have any definite properties until measured. Bring this up to say that even the reality around us fools us into thinking we know what real is, and science is constantly reminding us that reality is much stranger than we think. So who's to say that these entities don't exist in a 4th dimension and we can't see them with our 3-dimensional eyes? I mean, we don't see tiny particles, yet they're there. So our inability to perceive doesn't make something less real. But maybe real isn't the word we're after. And I guess like most things, we'll never really know. So I hope you add sleep paralysis to things to not think about while you're going to sleep. Since I've been working on this video, I've been thinking about sleep paralysis like every time I go to sleep now. And it never happens, but who knows? Maybe it'll happen tonight. So if you have a sleep paralysis story of your own, feel free to comment it or message me or let me know about it when you see me. And yeah, good night. Don't let the old hag bite unless you're into that.